All right, we are back here on Titans Talk. The Titans a loser 25-23 yesterday in Santa Clara, about 45 minutes south of San Francisco. Not exactly a hostile home field advantage right now for the 49ers, but it was good enough yesterday for the Niners to topple the Titans and drop them to 8-6 on the season. Our phone lines are still open, by the way, 737-7767 if you want to chime in on the conversation about what happened yesterday or what you expect to happen over the final 2 weeks of the season. So call us up, 737-7767. But let's go back and look at yesterday and what happened there in Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium. Titans and 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo making his first home start, third start in a row, and he looked great. He threw for 381 yards, hits Trent Taylor there for a first down that led to a field goal in the first half. Titans coming back in the first quarter there. That is Rashard Matthews down into field goal range, but the Niners answer. Garoppolo was great getting the ball out quick, but on the couple times the Titans actually did pressure him, he showed great pocket awareness. Hits Garrett Selleck there for the touchdown. Then disaster. Delanie Walker fumbles the ball, setting up another 49ers field goal of 16-3 until Marcus Mariota finds Walker, aloha, for the touchdown. Huge swing before half, and they come out with more in the second half. After one field goal, there's Mariota to Rashard Matthews again. That made it 20-19. But the 49ers get a field goal there with just over 3 minutes to go. Titans answer after a great drive, but they leave time on the clock. Ryan Succop's field goal with 1:07 left gives the ball back to Garoppolo, and he went to work. 24 yards to George Kittle. Then he finds his favorite target, Goodwin, there to set up the field goal. Robbie Gould, 45 yards out as time expires. And that's it. Titans fall 25-23 on the final play of the game. A devastating loss. Back-to-back heartbreakers on the road against NFC West opponents. And now again, the Titans, who left Nashville a couple of weeks ago at 8-4, in complete control of their destiny, not just for a playoff berth, but for the division, ahead of the Jaguars in the standings, now find themselves 2 games back of the Jags with 2 games to play. And with their wild card positioning up in the air, they were a full 2 games in front of anybody for a playoff spot a couple of weeks ago. Even if they didn't win the division, it seemed unlikely that they could fall out of the wild card spot. Now you're almost betting that it's going to happen because of who they lost to and who's left on the schedule. They put themselves in a very difficult spot. Titans radio sideline reporter Jonathan Hutton, also our analyst, was out in San Francisco or Santa Clara with myself at Levi's Stadium. Here are your keys to the game from that disappointing Titans loss to the 49ers. Time now for the keys to the game here at Levi's Stadium. Steve Layman along with our analyst and Titans radio sideline reporter Jonathan Hutton. And Jonathan, with 1:07 left, it looked like Marcus Mariota had his 5th game-winning scoring drive of the season for the Titans. But then Jimmy Garoppolo and the Niners go right back down the field for a game-winning field goal. What happened?
Well, precision passing by Jimmy Garoppolo happened, and a lot of the receivers wide open for San Francisco. The quick slants, the crossing patterns by the tight end, Selleck wide open across the middle that got them in the Titans territory. And then Robbie Gould has been money all year. He was money today for San Francisco.
6 for 6 today for Gould, 11 for 11 the last 2 weeks. And here in the Bay Area, they're talking about the Garoppolo effect. He's now led them to wins each of the past 3 weeks as their starting quarterback. And today he got some help from a Titans secondary that just wasn't very good without one of their stars, Logan Ryan, who missed much of the day.
Yeah, man coverage on the outside, the quick slants worked. Garoppolo went to work when under pressure. Titans were able to get to him a bit in the second half, but he kept plays alive in big passing situations and found receivers open. Logan Ryan certainly played a factor in all of that, being out with the ankle injury, didn't return in the second half. He knows Garoppolo well from his days in New England, and they could have used him in the second half, especially on that final drive.
The Titans defense holding them to so many field goals throughout the day kept them in this when the offense was not good early on. But we finally saw some no huddle out of necessity late in the first half, and then kept it going in the second half on 3 great scoring drives.
Yeah, and Mariota was able to find some rhythm in the passing game in that no huddle. At the end of the first half, going down, getting a big touchdown that got the Titans back into rhythm a bit offensively. And then we saw it to open up the second half where they went down and got 6 as well. I'd like to see more of that, especially over the final 2 weeks of the year.
Those 3 drives, 32 plays, 225 yards, and 17 of the Titans' 23 points this afternoon. Much more coming up from San Francisco in a bit. Yeah, that no huddle is going to be a topic of conversation over the next week and probably towards the end of the season here, because fans and some critics have wanted to see that more, because Marcus Mariota excelled at it in college. He excelled early in his career in the no huddle offense with this team, and you seemingly have weapons at your disposal to go to there. Mike Mularkey has said that when they've gone to it early on this year, it hasn't been that effective. Yesterday it was very effective, which only fuels the fire for those who say they need to go to it more often. It'll be interesting to see if they make any adjustment with that over these final 2 weeks when they need that offense to step up and take them to the next level. Our phone lines are still open, 737-7767, the number. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More Titans talk on the way right after this here on News Channel 5+.